And why did we agree to play host? And what's the significance of this role for Singaporeans?
Well, it's a very important meeting. The situation in Northeast Asia, particularly on the Korean Peninsula, and the problem of denuclearizing the north of the Korean Peninsula, is one which affects the security of the region, not just Northeast Asia, but actually the whole of Asia, and in fact, if you look at it more broadly, the whole world. So this meeting has the potential to set those developments on a new path, which were heading in a not very good direction for some time already. And it's not easy to find a place to host such a meeting. Both sides have to agree, it has to meet the requirements, it has to be politically and diplomatically acceptable to them. The practical arrangements have also to be seen to: security, safety, physical distance, the comms, whether you're able to handle the media or not. So there are not very many possible choices of places to go. From our point of view, it's important that the meeting take place and that the meeting has a positive outcome, sets developments on a new trajectory and one which will be conducive to the security and the stability of the region. So therefore, when the two sides ask us to host the meeting, we cannot say no. I mean, we have to step up. I think that we are capable of doing it. We have to put some resources into it, but we can do a good job. In terms of direct impact on us, plus or minus, well, I think it gives us publicity. The fact that we have been chosen as the site of the meeting, we did not ask for it, but we were asked and we agreed, I think says something about Singapore's relations with the parties, with America, with North Korea, also outstanding in the international community. And when the meeting takes place, the publicity, the comms, the setting of the meeting, that it takes place in Singapore, I think people will sit up and say, why is this meeting happening in Singapore? And they will draw their conclusions and they will see how things ran. And I'm sure that we will be able to show what Singapore can do.
As for Singapore as the host, what is the outcomes that we hope we will see?
Well, whether we are host or not, we hope for an outcome which will set things on a constructive path. This is a situation which has been there they have been at war for 70 years, since 1950, so almost 70 years. The nuclear issue has been there for 25 years at least, since the early 1990s. The first agreement was 1994, 93, the problem was even before that. There have been many agreements, discussions, agreements, broken agreements, further discussion, repeated agreements, further disappointments, and moves and counter moves and mistrust and misunderstanding built up over many years. So you cannot wipe that all away with one meeting. What you can hope to do is to start things moving in a positive direction and hope to build up progressively along the way, to build trust, to make further moves, and to keep on progressing gradually until we reach a point where we can say, well, the nuclear problem is no longer urgent, and CVID, complete, verifiable, irreversible denuclearization, has taken place, which is what the UN Security Council has asked for. And I think that's a long process, but this is a first step, which if the first step happens in Singapore, well, we're happy to be associated with it.